Layla had always believed in love. She thought she had found it in Damien, the man with the golden smile and honeyed words. When he courted her, he was everything she had ever dreamed of. Attentive, charming, and deeply passionate. But love was deceptive. The honeymoon phase faded faster than she had expected. Soon, the late nights began, the unexplained absences, and the smell of unfamiliar perfume clinging to his shirts. At first, she convinced herself it was her imagination. Until one evening, when she caught him red-handed, another woman's lipstick smudged across his jaw, a smirk playing on his lips as he wiped it off with the back of his hand. The confrontation was met with amusement. "You're my wife. That should be enough for you," he said, not even bothering to deny it. Layla's heart broke that night, but she didn't leave. Love, if that's what it was, had already sunk its claws deep into her. So, she stayed. Amelia, her younger sister, had moved in with them after losing her job and had witnessed every moment of her sister's suffering. She had seen the quiet tears, the long, sleepless nights, and the way Layla seemed to shrink under Damien's presence. "You don't have to stay with him," Amelia whispered one night as she held her sister close. "You deserve better." But Layla only shook her head. "It's not that simple." And maybe it wasn't. Amelia hated Damien. Every fiber of her being burned with resentment every time she saw his smug face or heard his cruel laughter. But what she hated more was how Layla endured it all as if she owed him her suffering. Then, the abuse started. The first slap came during a heated argument over nothing. Layla had barely finished speaking before Damien's hand met her cheek with a sharp crack, sending her stumbling against the wall. The apology never came. Instead, there was silence. And then, an unspoken understanding, one that told Layla this would not be the last time. And it wasn't. It became a routine. If she dared to question him, he would remind her with his fists who held the power in their marriage. Each time, Amelia patched her up, the rage in her heart growing unbearable. "You need to leave, Layla," Amelia pleaded one night, dabbing at the fresh bruises on her sister's ribs. "Please, before he kills you." Layla looked at her through swollen eyes, her lips trembling. "I love him, Amelia." "You love a ghost," Amelia spat. "That man doesn't exist anymore." But Layla refused to listen. And so, Amelia waited until she couldn't wait anymore. The night everything changed. It was raining that night. A storm raged outside, but inside the house, another storm brewed. Damien came home drunk, reeking of whiskey and another woman's scent. Layla, already exhausted from an evening of crying, made the mistake of asking where he had been. He responded with his fists. This time, he did not hold back. He struck her with such force that she collapsed onto the glass coffee table, the shards slicing into her skin. She cried out, pain radiating through her entire body, but Damien didn't stop. He grabbed her by the hair, dragging her up, his eyes wild with rage. Amelia heard the commotion from the other room and ran into the living room, her heart hammering. And that was when she saw it. Her sister, her Layla, laying in a pool of shattered glass and blood, her face bruised beyond recognition. And Damien, standing over her, his fist clenched, ready to strike again. Something inside Amelia snapped. Without thinking, she sprinted to the kitchen, her hands trembling as they found the cold steel of a knife. And then she moved. Before she could register what she was doing, she plunged the knife into Damien's back. Once, twice, again and again. His body jerked with every stab, a gurgled gasp escaping his lips as he stumbled forward, collapsing on top of Layla. Blood, his blood, mixed with hers, staining her trembling hands. The room fell into a deafening silence. Amelia let go of the knife, her breath coming in short, shallow gasps. Layla lay beneath Damien's lifeless body, frozen in horror. She had wanted him gone. She had prayed for it. But not like this. Not like this. With shaky fingers, she reached for the phone. And then, as Amelia stood there, covered in blood, waiting for her sister to say something, anything, she heard words that shattered her soul. 911, what's your emergency? Layla's voice trembled. My sister, she killed my husband. Betrayal and a cell of regret. The trial was swift. Amelia's lawyer fought for self-defense, but the court saw it differently. Damien's wounds spoke of rage, of vengeance, of intent. The judge's voice was calm as he sentenced her. Life imprisonment. Amelia barely reacted. Her mind was stuck on the one person who hadn't shown up to court. Layla. When they finally saw each other again, it was through a thick glass window at the prison visitation center. Amelia had expected sorrow, guilt, maybe even gratitude. But what she saw was worse than hatred. She saw betrayal. You killed him, Layla whispered, her voice shaking. Amelia's throat tightened. Layla, he was killing you. You had no right, Layla's voice cracked. He was my husband. I loved him. Amelia felt her heart shatter into a million pieces. You hate me now, she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Layla's eyes filled with tears. I don't even know who you are anymore. And then she hung up the phone, leaving Amelia alone. Forever. Who was to blame? Amelia spent years in her prison cell wondering. Was it Damien, for the monster he had been? Was it Layla, for staying, for enabling, for loving a man who never deserved it? Or was it herself, for letting her anger consume her? She would never know. All she knew was that the walls around her were permanent, and so was her regret. Layla's residence. The house was quiet now, too quiet. Layla sat alone in the dimly lit living room, wrapped in Damien's old jacket, inhaling the scent that still lingered. The weight of grief pressed against her chest. But it wasn't just grief, it was something else, something she couldn't name. She had cried for days, mourning the man who had once held her heart, the man Amelia had stolen from her. But as the days passed, she found herself mourning something else, the life she thought she had, the love she thought was real. Her hands trembled as she reached for Damien's phone, the device he had so fiercely guarded in life. He had never let her touch it, always quick to snatch it away, always locking it when she walked into the room. But now, he was gone, and the truth was at her fingertips. She unlocked the phone, her pulse pounding. Scrolling through his messages, her breath caught when she saw a conversation with a name she didn't recognize. Chica. A strange, sick feeling curled in her stomach as she clicked the chat. The messages were recent. Her vision blurred as she read them. Her fingers hovered over the screen, dread sinking into her bones. She swallowed hard and read the messages aloud. She's so stupid, Damien. She still trusts you. We need to do this soon. I can't wait forever. Patience, baby. The money is almost in place. A little more time, and she's gone. Then it's just you and me. Layla's stomach twisted. Gone. They were planning to kill her. Layla's hands clamped over her mouth. A sob ripped through her chest as the words blurred before her. Gone. They were planning to kill her. Her body shook violently as she kept scrolling. More messages, more plans. A plane ticket to another country, booked under Damien's name, and another under Chica's. A bank transaction, draining their shared savings. It was all there. He was never going to stay. He was never going to change. And if Amelia hadn't stopped him, if she hadn't killed him, Layla would be dead instead. A scream clawed its way up her throat, but nothing came out. Her mind flashed back to the courtroom, to the cold, hollow look in Amelia's eyes as the judge condemned her to life in a cage, to the words Layla had spat at her through the prison glass. You had no right, but Amelia had every right. She had saved her. Layla curled into herself, sobbing. The weight of her betrayal crushed her, heavier than any grief she had felt before. She had destroyed the only person who had ever truly loved her. And now, she didn't know if she could ever make it right. The phone slipped from her fingers, landing with a hollow thud against the floor. The truth was here, but it had come too late.